Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Heel Show, where the trade deadline has come and gone. And did the Astros do enough? That's what we'll be talking about here in just a second. Astros currently heading into the deadline. We're winners of 11 of 12 games, currently the hottest team in baseball, looking to be aggressive buyers at the deadline. You know, I'm sure you and me and everyone else thought that immediately getting swept out of the All-Star break, playing sloppy baseball against the Orioles, would have thought maybe they'd lean towards selling, but that is not the case. After that sweep, they went on a crazy, crazy hot streak.
Yeah. If anything, when we swept the Rangers, I thought Dana was gonna make trade after trade after trade, like anything he could, almost like AJ Preller in a weird way.
Yeah, AJ
Obviously,
Preller.
yeah, obviously not as aggressive, you know what I mean. But at least I thought we'd be coming on here and talking about like at least three trades, somewhere around there, at minimum two.
Uh,
Uh,
that is not the case, unfortunately.
yeah, because I was like. We have two outfield positions that need to be filled and pitching.
And we still
And
have to they'll still need to be filled.
and um I I don't know about you, but I woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and as soon as I got up, I just stayed on my phone, refresh, refresh, refresh. And then I
That's the
saw
best
the
part
two.
about trade deadline day. That's literally is just the suspense, the being glued to your phone or computer or MLB Network. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
a fun day.
You know what's not fun? Seeing other teams make trades. And then as you're refreshing, and then you're like, oh my, oh my. And then
It's like what are we gonna
all the
do? What are we gonna
guys,
do?
yeah, all the guys that you wanted, they're falling off the board. Robbie Ray, Elliot Ramos, so on and so forth. All the guys that we talked about on here. And then you're just like, oh, what is Dana doing? Oh, we knew sort of what Dana was doing. He's spending like hours trying to get Kyle Stowers to be an Astro. It's like if they just don't want to do it, move on.
Speaking of, we haven't even said what the Astros actually did. The Astros make one move, and the Astros acquire Dalton Varsho, center fielder from the Toronto Blue Jays, for starting pitcher Spencer Arrighetti. Dalton Varsho is a rental. He's a really good defensive center fielder. He is a mid to below average bat, which is not fixing your mid to below average outfield production. Um, Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Dalton Varsho sucks and that he's. I'm not hating on the dude at all, but this, just in my opinion and many Astros fans' opinions, doesn't move the needle. It doesn't move the needle. It's some people were calling him a left-handed hitting Jake Myers. Give Jake Myers give Dalton Varsho a little respect. He's career-wise been a better hitter than Jake Myers. I'll give him that. But this is from going into the deadline weeks before saying we're going to be aggressive, we're going to be buyers, we're going to do this and this, and then to only come out with one very lowly trade that didn't involve anyone. It's very disappointing, but there's some other factors in a second that I kind of want to maybe not give as much blame to Dana Brown for as people think he deserves.
Yeah, and listen, I actually like Varsho. Um, I think he's just having a bad season. I really do. I mean, he already got a hit in his first Astros game, which is a big positive. It's something to take away, and you can go, all right, that's good. We're already leading in a good spot with him.
He
And
doesn't he doesn't strike out, which I like. He doesn't strike out a lot, and he works counts, which I like.
yeah, and as for, Arrighetti, um, yeah, he can pitch good sometimes, but we basically seen him now. Now, can he develop into something really good for the Blue Jays? Because maybe their pitching coaches or whatever could find something in him. Maybe, you know, but I I I'm not calling him a left-handed Drake Myers or like that. If anything, Varsho, he was a pretty good to get. And could it be that maybe he just wasn't motivated by the fact that the Blue Jays are what, probably like in third or fourth place at best? No. Yeah, they would be in fourth place at bare minimum. Because I, if I'm not mistaken, Rays are in first, Yankees second, Red Sox third. So yeah, you're at least in fourth place. So
So yeah, you
yeah,
go, you go.
yeah, that plays with your mentality as a player. And now you're coming to a team that is automatically in first, just like that. That could be a big motivating factor for you to play better. Now if he continues to play bad, then you know what? It was just a bad season for him overall, and there's no excuse. But you know, I think it was a fair trade. They got a guy with the control, and I think Varsho might be easy to extend for at least another 2, 3 years at least. Um, Overall, fair trade, I would say.
Yeah, overall, I'd say it was. People are going to point out the 3 years of control, but Spencer, we still don't know with him. We know he has good stuff. He won pitcher of the month. Teams figured him out. He started slipping, can't pitch on the road, was walking people left and right. I mean, yeah, it's sad. You like Spencer the person. You like that mentality and dog. He's a dog in my opinion. He's got that a really strong mentality on his head, and of course you're gonna miss him. But at the end of the day, it's baseball's a business. Got to give up something to get something. And speaking of giving up something to get something, the Astros really did not want to part with players on their major league roster or in their top prospects. Which, when you put those two together in a market for this trade deadline as thin as it is, that doesn't equate to many trades on your behalf, you know?
Yeah, and you have to be willing to part. Like you said, you have to give up something to get something. And the Astros basically, ironically, already came into this deadline with the mentality we're gonna try not to part with anyone from our main roster. And ironically, it ended up happening to because that's just what the market value uh, was at. And you know, uh, we can debate all day about rather teams wanted players from our farm system or not, but at the end of the day, you have to at least part with like one, I would say, top 30 or even top 20 prospect if you want something really big. You like I said, if you see what teams gave up, they were giving up like top 20. Some of the highest that I saw, second, a top two prospect. Again, I forgot his name, but it was like Thomas something or whatever. Um, I mean,
That was in the Rutschman deal, right?
I forgot already. It might have been. No. It wasn't in the Richmond deal because it was like one prospect for two players. Um, uh,
It's fine. We can find that out
yeah,
later. But
but point is, I think every Astros fan would have been okay with at least parting with one of our top 10 prospects if it meant we fill a really important hole. I'm not saying we had to part with every top five, top 10 prospect, but at least one of them. Like if we had to say goodbye to Walker Denick or even like Kevin Alvarez or someone like that, just one of them, not all of them, just one of them. And we got back, you know, um, like one for one, Xavier Nines for Lars Nootbaar, or you know, Walker Jenick. Let's see, Walker Jenick for I don't know, a Robbie Ray, something like that. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Just one for like just one of those prospects for something that you desperately need, by the way. Um, and I was hoping for at least two outfield spots to be filled because like if you want to play the mentality, which they did basically, of like, oh well, the two pitchers coming off sorry, not two pitchers, but the pitchers coming off of the IL, um, that's basically going to be trade acquisition for us. It's like, okay, well, at least get two outfielders. You only got one. So this was not really a good trade deadline. It was just the biggest meh. And
It's a
this,
meh.
and it's not motivating Astros fans to go for the World Series because at the end of the day, you're probably going to have to go through the Dodgers. Let's just be honest. And on the AL side, you're going to have to go through a really hot White Sox team who did amazing at the deadline. You're going to go through probably the Red Sox who just have momentum, a lot of
The
momentum.
Rays got better, you know.
Yep, the Rays, the Yankees, and you couldn't even be bothered to go get two outfielders at least, but bare minimum. Instead, you Noah's nightmare might come true. Jake Myers and left, baby, all day.
No, it's listen, you know, what I said earlier is that Dana Brown was operating under heavy constraints. He was operating under the watch of Jim Crane and Jeff Bagwell, you know, no trading from the major league roster, no trading for any of the top prospects, no trading or no going over the luxury tax, you know. And at that point, what can you even do as a general manager? Because if you like, you're not going to get any of these names for Zach DeZenzo, Bryce Matthews, or you know, like a Joey Loperfido. Like none of those quadruple A guys are gonna move the needle. And I'm I am like happy in a way that they kept, you know, Xavier Nyans, Kevin Alvarez, Bryce Mayer, Ethan Pecco, and the, you know, the top. It's just that our farm system is so top heavy right now that, you know, our top 30 prospects, probably only like 5 or 6 of them after, you know, the top guys are a top 30 prospect on another team. Maybe not even that at all. So when you have none of those other prospects who are middling at all in the middle, you're going to have to trade your top guys, which is something they didn't want to do. And the market was the market. But then on the other hand, you have AJ Preller on the Padres, who has the 30th ranked farm system, who acquired Robbie Ray and Casey Mize with a bad farm system. But you know, AJ Preller, he's, you know, F them prospects.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, you should have done more, even though the constraints you did have, you know, the nixing of the Brian Abreu for Trevor Larnach trade. I can see why that was nixed, just because, you know, Brian Abreu seems to be coming back into form, you know. But when teams know all this information of your owner is heavily involved, you can't trade from the major league roster, you're not going to trade one of your top 5 or 6 prospects, you're not going to go over the luxury tax, it makes you less of a desirable trade partner, you know.
Yeah, it does. And you know, it makes you wonder just how much of a hold does Jim Crane have over this team. And at the end of the day, he needs to hire a GM that he can trust and also that, you know, because like I feel like the worst thing you can do is be good at your job, but yet have so many constrictions.
Yeah. Literally,
'Cause, yeah,
I'm like,
go.
Jim, Jim, you're a good owner. You bought the team in a time of darkness for it. You helped build it back up, got us to the golden era, oversaw the golden era. Windows never closed type deal. But now I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna go as crazy as people online and said that he's baseball's version of Jerry Jones. Yeah, there's some similarities, but he's not all the way there yet. But like you said, I'm pretty much gonna repeat what you said. If Dana Brown is not brought back, which I honestly don't think he is, this next GM that he hires needs to be able to do what he wants to do, and hopefully that next GM isn't Jeff Bagwell.
Yeah, it needs to be like an actual GM, and and honestly, I want a stubborn GM to come kind of like not be a yes man to um Jim Crane and be like, listen, like if we're gonna work together, you need to be able to trust me, because like, and I would like a GM like to be able to explain to him this is what team I built, before. It's what team I built before. I can do this for you if you just hand me the keys to the car, let me do things my way. You know, uh, uh, you know, and Jim Crane hopefully will give him the keys to the car and say, okay, listen, you can drive it, but. It, and I'm fine with Jim Crane being like, okay, don't mess with the Correas, don't mess with the Altuves, blah blah blah. That's fine. Like the main roster guys, like Christian Walker, blah blah blah. But like
Jordan.
but prospects and guys that are gonna get you value, like Arrighetti, maybe Javier and stuff like that, they should be available. Because like, let's be honest, Javier, uh, he hasn't been game changing lately for us. Like he's good, but he hasn't been like game changing for us.
He did better last night. He went. It wasn't like pretty. It wasn't like perfect, but he still got you 6 innings of 3-run baseball with no walks.
Yeah, and that's good. But those players that do have like value, but you don't plan on keeping from the long term or extending, like they should be available. Or especially if granted, I don't know if Jim Crane plans on extending Jeremy Pena, but like the Kyle Tucker situation where you know for a fact they're gonna be way over your budget, then trade them.
Yeah, I mean, um, overall, what I'll just say about this is I'll still say it was a failure of a trade deadline just because you didn't come out with a starter. You didn't come out with any real impact outfield bats. Still there's room for Dalton Varsho. I'm not gonna say that he's a bad baseball player. Dalton Varsho's someone who a couple years ago who I wanted the Astros to sign or trade for. You know, so it's frustrating for sure to sit here while the team's on a hot streak and still feel like they didn't go all in. But with a farm system as top heavy, it is hard to, and with the constraints as well. You know, it's a D minus. It's a D minus because you did something, but it like you said, it's a meh. It's a meh.
I gave it a C minus only because like at least I am optimistic about the team and there's not much to do besides the outfield. Because like besides like the two outfield spots, this team pretty much is already set. Uh,
I'm still just kind of worried about like who is gonna start Game 3 in a playoff series for this team
yeah,
because I feel like the home stretch of the season is gonna be a competition between Javier, Blanco, Wisniewski. Because it's crazy. So if you asked me at the beginning of the year if Peter Lambert of all players was going to be your Game 2 starter in a playoff series, I'd tell you you're crazy. And like, who the hell is Peter Lambert?
and in all due respect, the Dodgers didn't even give up that much for Tyrese School. We could have matched that.
No, we could have matched that. I mean, River Ryan's he's like a 28-year-old prospect who's dealt with a lot of injuries. The outfielder they sent, yeah, he's a top 100 prospect, but he's a lot of strikeout issues. The reason I believe Skubal went to the Dodgers is because he told the Tigers, if you're going to trade me, I want to go to the Dodgers. The Tigers said, okay, we'll trade you to the Dodgers. And they did their due diligence, and that was really it. And they kind of just took the first offer the Dodgers had, even though the Brewers probably had a better package. Uh, Probably another team had a better package, but
Yeah, but like not only that, I wonder like we didn't even inquire about Jung Ho Lee.
I don't think, yeah, I didn't hear a single rumor all day yesterday about Jung Ho Lee.
Like that's one guy I really wanted because like again, because like he really would fit in with Isaac and Walker and Jordan about working counts and all that. Like he would tire pitchers and he can get on base too. Like there's a few guys that I was like, really? I'm like, they're not. And then Heliot Ramos, we that's another guy we could have gotten because we needed more than the Yankees.
It's a lot of coulda wouldas now,
Yeah,
and we just have to attack the rest of the season. It's I just would have felt more comfortable with another left-handed or right-handed bat in left field more than Taylor Trammell. Yes, Taylor Trammell's been doing really good lately, but I just don't trust him over a full season.
yeah, we're basically relying on our farm system to hopefully develop something.
You're relying on Taylor Trammell and Lamont Wade Jr.
Uh, Not named Jake Myers also.
He's been banished in my just for all my
Uh,
concern.
he might be back though, because like from what I hear, he's been phenomenal. And
Ever heard of the Sugarlands, the quadruple A factory?
yeah, um, I mean, hey, at least we're down to only one outfield problem.
Yeah, I mean Cam Smith, he's looked better over these past couple series. I think just from what I heard, there were a lot of deals the Astros were close to getting done. It's just never got over the 1 yard line, or just never got past the 1 yard line. You know,
Or if worse comes to shove, do you think that what they're gonna do, and this is their mindset, really, and why they weren't so aggressive on other outfield? Because Correa said there's a chance he might be back. Do you think Izak goes to second and Altuve to left field?
at the end of the year, that might that could happen if Correa somehow magically comes back.
Yeah, because Correa even said in an interview like he wouldn't be doing all these drills if he thought there wasn't a chance.
Yeah,
And
I saw that. Yeah,
yeah, and if the Astros do believe there's a chance too, maybe that's what they're banking on.
well, I noticed there's one thing about the Astros when they do trades. They love trading with the team that they're playing that series.
I know I said that too to myself. I was like, you know what? From now on, like every trade deadline, I'm just gonna assume that's who we're trading with, like across the street.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. Did Dalton Varsho have to go back to the team hotel and sleep there that night to get his stuff?
yeah, pretty much. He has to go back to the Blue Jays hotel, check out, be like thank you, and then check into the Astros hotel across the street.
Yeah, I wonder if any of the Astros players let him stay with them and roommate for a little bit.
Yeah, that's would be the most awkward thing ever. Is like I even saw a meme about it where like a person was like Astros trades be like, and it was like a four guys and like, oh, we're gonna take a road trip or whatever,
It's
and
like right across
then,
the street.
yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. It was so funny, and literally that's all it is. And Eric Getty too. He's like, of course, I'm a Blue Jay now. When I was just sitting over there, like not even like 5 minutes ago.
I think the Angels they sold off some pieces. They got some good, decent stuff back.
Yeah.
The Pirates, they got some pitchers. Mets sold off a lot of their guys. Cubs had a good
Yeah.
Cubs had a good deadline.
That's a weird thing to say when I could say the Angels had a good trade deadline.
No, the Angels should have been selling all these years, but they kept holding on to whatever junk they had.
Yeah. I understand why you didn't sell Mike Trout because of the contract, but
Yeah, I mean, Mike Trout's undying loyalty to the Angels needs to be studied. He just needs to come home to Philly. I'm a little biased because I do live near Philadelphia, and I would love to see him play for his hometown team. So, but the Phillies, they got Luis Ariz. They're going to put Harper temporarily back in the outfield, you know? So, yeah. Damian Lillard still got traded in the end of the day. He did go back, though. And also, no, kind of off topic. Texans training camp is going on right now. Uh, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing from the offensive line, defensive line. Jadeveon Clowney is back. I really, really like that. He's still a really solid player to have as the DN3. You know, Mario Williams is back. I'm really excited to do Texans games recaps as well. Mm. You know, yeah. I have a friend who worked for the Texans. I have a friend who works for the Texans, and he doesn't do like anything like football directly related with like football playing. He's, on the business side of it. But when he does go to, like, on his lunch break, he'll get to go to training camp and stuff like that. And he'll see, the practice, and he's like, CJ Stroud has a lot more time to throw the ball. And that's really good considering how good the Texans defense is. If if CJ Stroud is even mediocre this year, if he's a middle of the pack quarterback, he can go far. Sure. All right, hitting 30 minutes, probably going to end it here. Astros continue their series with the Blue Jays tonight, looking to get that first win of the series as they drop the first one. And yeah, it was a disappointing trade deadline, but you can't do anything about it now. You just got to go out there and keep winning. And, all right, we'll come back to you as soon as Jake Myers gets called back up. But that's us from the H Town Heel Show today. We'll see you guys. Go Stros.